Hi guys, thanks for joining me for this video. This will be one of the first videos to go up on my page. If any of you have seen me on Facebook, I did a video there about deodorant, and so just wanted to expand upon that and share the recipe that I use. Some of my friends use it for a more natural deodorant, just so that we don't have to worry about some of those additives. Who knows what we're spreading on our body. Aluminum that's ending up in our bloodstream and everywhere else. So just wanted to go ahead and share this recipe with you guys. I will type it up so that it's on there as well. You guys don't have to try and remember it. But I'll just go through as I go along. So the base for this deodorant is a cocoa butter, shea butter, coconut oil, and then it does contain cornstarch or arrowroot, whichever you prefer, and baking soda. There's definitely some a little bit of controversy about the baking soda. Some people are definitely sensitive. Their skin is sensitive. If you are, then obviously this one isn't for you. I am looking at some baking soda free options, but at this point in time, this is the best one that I've found. Yes, and the other ingredients are essential oils. So as I talked about previously, in my estimation, and for me personally, sandalwood is an ingredient that I usually put in my deodorants. Unless I'm doing like a rosemary lavender blend or something that's much more, I'd say light and fruity, like a lemon, something like that. I'll usually do a blend with sandalwood. It works well with my body chemistry. I love the way it smells. So this blend will be a cedarwood and sandalwood, the two essential oils that I'm using for this particular batch. So just to go through ingredients real quick, obviously we're putting this on our body, like I mentioned. So most all the ingredients that I try to use, everything's organic whenever possible. Obviously I don't want to freak out about it because stressing yourself out about anything is worse than putting some chemicals on your body, most likely. So this is the shea butter that I used. Just ordered offline. You might have a brand that you like. Good for you. Just wanted to, show some options. This is the raw cocoa butter that I've found. This one works really well. It's not the same brand, but, oops, a little closer so you guys can see it. Yes, but this is the brand that I use. I really like it. Organic cold pressed coconut oil. I try whenever I get oils for cooking, for body use, whatever, try to make sure that those oils are cold pressed. Helps to eliminate a lot of the damage that happens sometimes when oils are extracted, and damage that can end up causing them to become rancid much more quickly, and then that's not good for anybody. And also, this is one of those products you can find most anywhere. I actually found this brand at Walmart. So it didn't cost that much, but still, once again, organic and cold pressed. So super awesome there. And then just a regular organic, baking soda that you can find anywhere. And then either an organic cornstarch or an arrowroot, whichever one you have better access to. And then whichever brand of essential oils you prefer. Lots of people are, very set in the essential oils that they use. So we have everything weighed out here. I have my 120 grams of shea butter, our softer fat there, our 20 grams of cocoa butter. I do recommend mostly sticking with this amount of cocoa butter if you decide to play around with the amounts in the recipe. One of the things that I'm working on is when you go to let your deodorant set so it gets harder at room temperature, if it's warm where you're letting it set, sometimes the oils will start to separate. And we know that cocoa butter can do that thing where it just starts to become a little granular. So usually I'll go back an hour or two after it's been setting and I'll just give it another stir. Just helps to avoid having this layer of straight fat on the top, which can become granular, and then having more of your solids underneath. And once it's hard, it's harder to mix it. So like I said, I usually go back and do one mix, while it's hardening. Then I have my baking soda cornstarch mixture. So I usually do my fats, my dry separate, and then my liquid separate, just like we're cooking, right? So then I have another batch that's already here with my oils already melted. Okay. So I put this over, technically it's not a double boiler, it's a pot of just very low simmering hot water. If you want to use a straight double boiler, you can. Obviously I don't do it over straight flame just to try to be a little bit softer on the oils and not be too harsh with them. So I've melted my shea butter, my cocoa butter into this mixture, okay? So now what I'll do is just go ahead and add my dry ingredients and my essential oils. So I'm going to add these dry ingredients right in. Hopefully you guys can see here. And I mean, it's really just the simplest recipe. Add my oils as well. Okay. And if I need a whisk, sometimes, your dry ingredients will get, some lumps, just like in any other recipe. If I need to whisk, I'll whisk. If not, I'll just go with this rubber spat. And I do need a little whisk here just to get everything broken up. So I'll do that real quick. And then I personally use small canning jars to stir the deodorant in with screw lids. Works well for me. Nice wide open mouth. And then when I give it for gifts, I'll use like a hemp string. And I'll use a tiny popsicle stick. And I'll tie it on there so it's like a little applicator. I think it's cute, personally. It's just me. So that's really it. So it's just a matter of melting your hard fats, adding your dry ingredients, and your liquid oils and your essential oils. And whatever blend you like is totally up to you. Yeah. And like I said, I didn't give you guys the amount for essential oils. Sorry about that. I didn't give you guys the amount for essential oils. I usually do a mixture totaling about 60 to 80 drops of essential oil total when I do a double batch of this. But like I said, I'll put all that typed up for you guys so you can see it. So I use these little jars. Let me go ahead, you guys can see here. Go ahead and divvy it up into small jars. And it takes a good few hours to set. And I try to find a spot that's not super warm. Like I said, helps with separation and just helps it set more quickly. I have taken this mixture and set it in the fridge to set more quickly. Totally up to you. I just find that the texture gets a little weird if it sets too quickly, as well as if it takes too long. So I prefer room temperature. Just, not a hot room temperature. Like right now, it's August on the East Coast, so, it can get pretty hot. One other thing I want to mention before I end is just label your jars. I pre-labeled all these guys. And, there's been plenty of times when I was making a batch of deodorant or lotion or something, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to remember what's in here. 2 weeks later, I'm looking at different jars to figure out what's what. So just do yourself a favor and go ahead and label your jars ahead of time so you know what you have. So that's it. Super, super simple. And I'm actually going to leave the lids off of these just because the oil is a little warm. I don't want any condensation to create on the lid as it's solidifying. So I'm going to leave the lids off until it hardens. And like I said, in about an hour or two, I'm going to come through and just give it a stir so that those solids don't all sit at the bottom and the deodorant's well distributed. All right, thanks so much for watching. Please leave comments if you guys have any ideas. Thanks.